Hello, thank you so much for being here. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Guys, today I am doing a recap of my last video. The video that I did last week, I made currant slices. And there was a mistake that I made in that video. And guys, I admit when I make a mistake, I am big. I can admit I made a mistake, okay? I made a mistake because I did the video. I was just kind of basically wanted to show you how you can make your jam puffs or your coconut slice without having to go through the process of making the dough from scratch. I wanted to show you some dough that I found in the supermarket and how easy it was for you to make it, right? And I think I was just kind of throwing things together, and after I done, I realized, wait a minute, the coconut that I put inside of the for the coconut slices, I should have cooked it first. I should have. And when I tasted it, it tastes good, but I was thinking it was kind of crunchy. The coconut was crunchy because it wasn't cooked, okay? I did receive an email from someone named H. Welch, and she said to me, which I really appreciate, because I'm not perfect. I mean, I think of myself as a good cook, but I'm not perfect. I make mistakes just like a lot of us make mistakes. But instead of giving me a hard time, she was very polite in the way she said, Tina, what are your thoughts on cooking the coconut first? And then it's like, you know, it's like something hit me and I realized, wait a minute, I didn't cook the coconut. I should have cooked the coconut first. So that is what we're going to do today. So I'm going to kind of recap and go over what I did last week just to make sure I did it correctly. And this time I'm not kind of throwing things together. I'm going to do it the correct way. And another thing that I'm going to add to it, which I didn't do last week, is some meat pies. Okay? I want to just throw some meat pies in there. So we're going to do that today. So come over to the stove. Let me cook my coconut, and I can show you the correct way to make coconut slices. Alright guys, so I have my saucepan here, and I have 1.5 cup of coconut, and I'm going to add that to my saucepan. Can't believe I skipped this part the last time, guys. So in here is just coconut. I'm going to add just a 1/2 cup of sugar. And if you don't like it too sweet, you can use a little less than 1/2 cup of sugar. Maybe a 1/4 cup of sugar. You know, it's up to you guys if you don't want it too sweet. Over here I have 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and this is 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg right here, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and this is 3 pieces of ginger. I'm gonna put that all in there, but just remember to take the ginger out before you get ready to put it in your pastry. And I'm gonna stir this here for a little bit and cook it down a little bit before, and then let it cool before I add it to my pastry. Guys, this is what it looks like here, but I'm gonna add just a tip of water to that, so that it can I want it to boil a little bit longer, because I'm trying to get the flavors and stuff from the ginger. So I add a little bit of water to it because I don't want it to dry out too much, because then it's going to get hard. Okay, so I add just that little bit of water, and then it'll be done. Once that water dry out, it'll be done. Here the coconut is all done, and this is what it looks like when it's boiled down. And as I said, I put a little bit of water inside of it, and then I let that water dry out, because you don't want all of the liquid to dry out, because then you're going to end up with some sugar cake, and we're not making sugar cake. So you saw what I put in there earlier. Now I'm going to add, now that it's off the stove, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla essence to that to help bring up the flavor. I already went ahead and tasted it already, guys, and it tastes yummy, yummy, yummy. So you know, but these are what I put in. But guys, I just give you ideas. You don't have to put the same thing. If you have bay leaf, you want to throw a bay leaf in there, or whatever you want to throw. Maybe you don't like ginger, you don't have to put ginger in. Whatever you like, okay? So when you take it off the stove, you can add a little bit of vanilla essence in there and just stir it up like that, and it is good. And you can go ahead and taste it again if you like. just to make sure the flavor is just right. Ooh, it's good. It is good. Okay, now I have here my pastry dough that I bought, which I told you guys about, and this is the brand, and I'm giving you the brand because some people wrote me and asked me what brand I use, and this is the name of it here. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not being sponsored to do this, but I just want my people to know exactly what it is that I used. Okay, now that I've done that, now let me go ahead and take this paper off of here. Let me take it off. There we go. So I just like to stretch it out a little bit, so I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit. I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit here, guys. Okay, and then I'll take my coconut that I've cooked. That looks really good. But this is the piece of ginger that I put in there that I'm going to take out. And just spread it all over. Spread it all over. Just don't go all the way to the end because you're going to need to roll the end. This is another piece of ginger. I cut everything in about 3 pieces. Here's the other piece right here. The other piece of ginger. You don't want to be biting into a big piece of ginger, so you're going to take that out. And just spread it out. Spread it out. If you were making sugar cake, guys, as I said, you would just let this boil a little bit longer, and then you guys know how to drop it, and then you'll have some sugar cakes to eat. If you're a coconut person, you like coconut. My daughter, I told her, don't like coconut, but she liked the guava pastries that I made. So she said to me, Mommy, you gonna be making more guava pastries? Yes, I'm gonna make some today. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I think we pretty much went to the end without going all the way, right? And this is how we make coconut slices. So then what I do is you're just gonna take your ends and you're just gonna roll it. And you're gonna try to roll it small. And I didn't put flour on here, but you can put some flour on there, and that would help your dough to come up a little bit easier. And just roll it. Roll it, roll it, roll it, all the way to the end. Then you have a little tray right here. You put some parchment paper in there. And then you're going to finish this up, roll it. And you're going to put this side here that you roll is going to go side down. That is going to be down. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our edges right here and push our edges in to make sure that everything stays on the inside and nothing comes out. So we're going to roll that, and we're going to also do the same thing here. Push it in, push it in. And then we're going to put it on. We're going to put this on our tray. I have my stove set right now at 350. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is a little bit of egg wash, a little bit of water and egg I mix together. So I'm just going to just put a little bit on here. This is going to give it that nice golden color. That's a little piece of the coconut that got on top there. That's okay. It's not going to hurt it. And just put your egg wash all over. And then I have a little bit of sugar here. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar at the top. And now I'm gonna put this in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll check it. I'll tell you exactly how long it took in there. When I come back, I'll be starting on my meat pies. Okay guys, now that our coconut slice is in the oven, I'm gonna start on my meat pies. So I have here 1 pound of ground beef. So I'm gonna go over the stove and get this started. I'm gonna put this in the pan and I'm going to season it up, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. Okay guys, so this is the ground beef here. This is 1 pound of ground beef I had in here. So now I haven't added anything to it, so now I'm gonna season it up, okay? So this is half a cup of bell peppers. This is orange and green peppers, bell peppers here. I have half a cup of celery. I have, this is a little more than half a cup of onions, chopped onions. I have here half a cup of spring onions. Mix this all up together. This is about 4 garlic chopped. Put that in there. And this is some dry thyme that I'm going to add to that. And I'm going to leave this here for a few minutes so the onions and so on can cook down. And then I'm going to add my spices. Okay guys, so the coconut slice is out of the oven. Here it is. It's nice and hot. It just came with the oven. It looks good, so I'm gonna go ahead and slice it for you before we go on to our next. You can see how flaky it is. And this is just another way, guys, as I told you before, if you don't want to go through the process of making your own dough, you can, this is something quick. And if you have company, you can share it with. And this is what it looks like. Coconut slices. So I'm not going to taste this right now because I'm going to continue on. Now I'm going to do the meat pies next. And I'm going to taste everything around the same time, okay? So let me put this aside and let's go over and finish up our meat for our meat pies. So now I'm going to start by seasoning. So I just put some butter in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of ketchup. Put some ketchup in there. I have garlic in there, but I'm going to add some more garlic powder. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. I usually like to add a little turmeric. How it flavors it. I like my Bajan hot sauce. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. Not too much, because my daughter's going to complain. And I'm going to add a little bit of all-purpose seasoning in there. Then I'm going to mix this all up well together. I'm going to add to this I'm going to add a little bit of salt, and then we're going to taste it. Because the meat is already cooked, I'm just adding these other stuff to it to flavor it. And I'm going to go ahead and taste it a little bit just to see if I need to add more salt or anything else to it. I'll taste that. Yeah, need some salt. That's good. Now let me show you what I'm gonna do next to this. Okay guys, so our meat is cooked here. I have this piece of dry thyme that I had in there. Take that out, I don't need that anymore. And I'm gonna take this and add it to my blender because I want to make it nice and fine. Oh, we got another piece of thyme right there. I want to blend everything up together. So just put it in here. I did this once before, so this is really a recap, guys, of a previous video that I had done, but it's being done a little bit different because I had made that pastry myself, but this pastry I didn't make, so I figured I'd just show you this one, maybe just in case you haven't seen that video, you'll see this one. Okay, so put all the meat in here. Good. And then let me put this on here. Alright guys, so now this is the meat that I just put in there in the blender. So I'm taking this out now. This is how you would make your meat if you're doing beef patties. Okay guys, so let's get started on making some meat pie. So the first thing we're going to need is a baking pan here. We have our meat, and we have my puff pastry, a little flour here, and I'm going to need this to cut. I'll show you what I'm going to do in a minute. So let's get started. So I am going to put a little bit of flour over here to roll my pastry out on, and let's go ahead and get it out of the wrapper. Now let's put it down here, a little flour. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on my rolling pin, and I'm gonna roll this out a little bit. Let's see how much we're gonna get out of this. Put that over there. I just want to see how much this is going to give me. Okay, guys? Okay. So when we stretch it out a little bit, there, I'm going to take this right here. And I'm going to spray my pan a little bit just to make sure nothing sticks in there. This is a little pan spray. And I'm just going to spray it down a little bit. Then I'm going to take my pie pastry and just put it in here. And I'm going to do this to all of them. Come as close to the end as you can right here. So now I have these little pieces now that's left over after I've cut, but these pieces we can reuse these pieces. So we're gonna put them all together. We can put these all together. We can put a little flour down on our table, and we're gonna roll this out. Put a little flour on here. Roll this out so that we can finish up. Okay, so I need one more pastry for here, but of course I have extra. I bought extra. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll this one out as well, because I also need a cover for that as well. Just like that, and put it in here. Okay, and that's it for now. So I'm gonna set this aside for a few minutes while I work on this part here. So let me show you what I'm gonna do next. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, guys. We have our meat right here, and we're gonna take a couple, maybe like one right now, tablespoon, and put it in here of our meat. Making meat pies, guys. Meat pies. Get your meat pies. See how easy this is, guys? Real easy. I'm trying to give you guys easy. You know, sometimes people have a lot of things to do. They don't have a lot of time to be making this and making that. I just show you easy way to make stuff. And this look a little yellow because I have the what is it I put in there? Turmeric in here. Okay, so I put 1 tablespoon in there, but obviously I have some more left and there's more space in some of them, so you can add some more to it where you see there's room. Just add it in. I don't want to necessarily add it up to the top because I don't want stuff leaking out. Just bring that up there. And just fix this good because I want that. There we go. Fix that good. Put a little more in there. And so you start out with a tablespoon. And if you have room, you can add some more into it. Look, there's some room. This look kind of, you can add a little more to that one. Add a little more to that. Fix this good. Come out of there. Oops. Okay, and that's about it. I'll take a little bit off of this one, look kind of high right here, and add it to that. That's it. So now we're gonna finish this up. Now I have the rest of my pastry dough right here, and now I'm going to continue to roll this out a little bit. So I'm gonna go right here with a glass this time, and I'm gonna make a cover that I'm gonna put on top of that. Okay, and I'm gonna put it on top of that glass and put it there. And this I'm gonna set aside because I'm gonna do something else with this. Okay guys, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of water and kind of just go around the edge right here because I want the dough to stick together. So I'm gonna go around the edge a little bit and glue them together. Oops. This bottom piece should be a little bit bigger, but it still glues together. Glue it together. Like that. And then you can do the same thing over here. You're gonna just go around it with some water just to glue it together so it would stick. And just go all the way around and stick it together. All the way around. Because we don't want our insides to come out. So we're gonna make sure that we stick it good. Okay guys? And I'm gonna do this to all of them. Okay guys, so let's finish up the last one here. And you're just gonna seal it. The water helps to seal it. Okay, so when you've done all of that, they're all sealed by hand, good. Then I have a fork right here, and I'm going to take the back of my fork and I'm just going to go all the way around with the back of the fork to seal it some more. do this with the back of my fork. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put a couple slits inside of it, and what this is gonna do is like help the air to pass through it while it's in the oven. Okay, the steam. So this is what we're gonna do right here. My oven is already set at 350. I'm gonna put these in there for 15 minutes and 15 to 20 minutes. So the next thing I'm going to do, is my egg wash that I have here, a little egg, a little water. I'm just going to put a little bit on here to give it a nice golden color, and I will put this in the oven and bake it for 15 to 20 minutes, and I will be back as soon as it is all done. Okay guys, meat pies are out of the oven. They took exactly 20 minutes. I put them in for 15 minutes, and then I put them in for additional 5 minutes, so they're 20 minutes altogether. So I'm going to take them out, let them cool a few minutes, put them on this plate, and then I'm going to come back and taste the meat pies and the coconut pies slices for you. Okay guys, so the meat pies are all done, and we have here the remade coconut slices. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to taste them for you, tell you exactly what they taste like. So I'm going to start with the meat pies. Now my meat pies, as I told you, was in there for 20 minutes, but I think 20 minutes was a little bit too long because the bottom of them got a little bit too dark. So you can do 15 minutes or a little less than 15 minutes, okay? And they should be good. And the coconut slices did take 20 minutes. So let me go ahead and taste this and tell you exactly what it tastes like. Still a little warm, but it is delicious. You see, you have your little meat in there, you have your pie. This is a meal right here. You probably can freeze some of these and reheat them whenever you need to. But, and it does have that little yellow color because I put turmeric inside of it. But if you don't like the yellow color, you can take out the turmeric. So that is the meat pie. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now let me taste dessert. Let me taste the coconut slices for you and tell you exactly what it tastes like. Guys, I have to go in for another bite of this. This is so good. What a big difference. It makes a big difference when you cook the coconut. Instead of just putting in the plain coconut like that, what a difference. Much better. Guys, this is delicious. And the meat pies, or you can also do you can also do the jam puffs that I did before. And one thing I sliced the guava. Somebody said in Barbados it's called guava cheese. I sliced it and put it in there, but as someone wrote to me, you can melt it in the microwave and then spread it on the inside of the dough, and then seal it up and cook it. Okay. These are just options that you have. There's plenty of options that you have. Guys, I had so much fun doing this for you. I appreciate all of you watching, and I appreciate all your comments. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love to read your comments. Until next time, bye-bye.